that I've ever seen.
Experience.
Part of
Not been,
experience.
well, just seeing people get killed. Like seeing a bullet go into somebody's head and it swell up with no blood. Or watching life just, leave a man. That shit is fucked up. Or going to a wake. The most fucked up shit was Aaliyah dying. That was the most fucked up shit. The shit I had to deal with that. You'd be surprised how people act when they think you're hurt. That's when they really start trying to make moves on you. But
that's when they try to make moves on you? That's terrible.
You remember that when that time I was beefing in Def Jam and shit? Like when I was, they got that tape of me flipping on Kevin Lyles. And
right.
The reason why they had tried to, that meeting, that wasn't Aaliyah, but my Big's brother Bobby Burt, Baba Law had got killed. And we were all at the wake the day before. Mm-hmm. So, that was like one of my first brothers that got, that was one of the first times we ever dealt with no shit like that. And that's when they made that meeting. They said they sent the email knowing we was all at the wake. And they made that meeting to do some shit behind my back. So that's when they go. And, business is ruthless like that. Life is ruthless like that. So, I don't have I'm not like, I'm like not butthurt about it. I just be like, all right, now I'm gonna torture y'all. And that's the reason why they got to click up to get at me.
For the Aaliyah situation, were you supposed to be at the video shoot?
I wasn't. What happened was they were doing it in Miami, and I went State Property. The funny thing is, Freeway, she loved Freeway's records the most. Like that was her favorite artist. So I had them out there in the house making an album or a record together. And so I flew out there with my kids so that I could bring Aaliyah to make the record. So I was out there, and then, she made the record with Hype. I mean, the video with Hype, and I had just made like Big Pimpin' with Hype, so I knew what he was about. And I told her, I went to the video and was like, don't have him tell you that you need to go someplace else to shoot the video, because he just does that so he can skip. He did it with us. And sure enough, Hype wants to go to this place, and I was telling her, I told you he was going to do that. So I told her like I didn't want her to go, and that's kind of fucked up because that was one of the reasons why she was in such a rush to get back. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was crazy because that was like the one time her mother had got like a operation on her eye, so she couldn't fly. Her brother was in Australia for some reason, so it was like one of the rare times she was ever alone or not with her like team like that. And even when she got on the plane, she didn't like the plane. So like one of our last texts before she went there, because she couldn't text from there, and it was the BlackBerry at the time, was I don't like the plane. And I literally was like, don't get on. I literally was like, don't get on it. But it was like we were squad. It's a long story, but I don't feel like getting into it. But yeah.
No worries.
No, just shit. I don't really, not even that part, but just that's what it was. Like she knew that plane was fucked up, but she got on it. She was always scared of planes.
How'd y'all meet?
How do we meet, romantically, or how do we meet like at first?
Either, both.
Well, I first met her like a basketball game, but I wasn't really looking at her like that. She was like, sort of like Nicolette, like a little boy to me. You know what I mean? Because she had the big.
Nicolette, she took offense to that.
No, she didn't. I was trying to get the narrative out for you. Don't you want that narrative? That's what I'm saying. I be wanting to. Like, you're gonna be. Are you a lesbian or you not? Like, what are you doing right now? You know what I'm saying? What are we appealing to? So, I didn't look at her like that because she was like a tomboy. She was little to me. But then one time, she was. I guess we had the same bookkeeper, and I walked past. And the thing about Aaliyah was like every time I saw her, she looked different. So she had different looks every time, and I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And then I realized it was Aaliyah, and then I just threw my A game. And then, I guess Jay was trying to get at her as well, and I didn't know. And then it got brought up, and I was like, "Fuck both of y'all." But it never worked out for them, and we were both like trying to get at her. I like kind of eased up, but then we ran into each other. It's a long story.
So you and Jay was both getting at Aaliyah. Obviously,
everybody was getting at Aaliyah, bro.
Right.
She would she'll go to dinner with a nigga, but she wasn't going to just be smashing. So that was like the big deal, like who could get with Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
We all put like.
Was he bitter?
Obviously. Yeah, he felt the way.
The true reason of Rockefeller's breakup.
But everybody knows that shit. Like we were both.
I heard it, but I didn't.
Yeah, but what they be trying to act like he
mind.
was like really fucking with. Now he was sending flowers and doing all this shit that nigga. He was courting her, so we were both going hard, and so we ended up in the same house 4th of July. So we were, for some reason this day.
Wait a minute, you, Jay, and Aaliyah ended up in the same house.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So it was like one day it might lean toward him, and then it would lean toward me. But I was just on fire that week. Like I was just everything I was saying was funny. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and I remember coming downstairs, like it happened. He was like, you know, this is gonna be hard for me because he was throwing because his friends were laughing at him and shit. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot, we ended on Aaliyah.
Well, I might have a fucked up question since we're talking about Aaliyah, and ignore me if it's too much. But do you have any opinion on the R. Kelly situation? Do you think he got railroaded, or he's there? He's where he belongs.
Yeah, I think he's where he belongs. I mean, I know Aaliyah, so I know what he did.
Oh.
I can't be objective about that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he definitely seemed like he needed some help.
You ever have beef with R. Kelly while you was with Aaliyah? Did you ever hang on to no shit or get weird? Or?
Nah, she had asked me to leave it alone completely. So she never really wanted to tell me. It was like things I'd be like, yo, she just was just leave it alone. She just wanted it left alone. So that's the thing that people would be like when Jay was doing videos with him, I was be in the video, but I'd be like, yo, what do you want me to do? And she'd be like, don't start nothing, just don't be in no shots with him. So I would never, you show me a picture of me in a picture with him and shit. Mm. And then when he did the record with Jay, that's why I was that was almost like one of the things where I was just like, he's out of here, Jay. I just let it go because I couldn't believe he did a project with her, with R. Kelly, knowing that he had raped my girl. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, if you look at it, like I'm not on there as an executive producer, and like he had done some bullshit before, like he wanted to get out of Rockefeller with us, but we had this OG named Deuce that, he didn't want to, because he didn't want us to work with Biggs no more. He was like, we could cut Biggs, and I was like, I can't cut Biggs, like we could do something different, but Rockefeller's us three. And, or then he wanted me and Biggs to take less money, and I was like, I'm not taking less money. So it was a problem about a year before that, and then our OG Deuce from St. Kix or St. Croix kind of straightened it out, and then he died. And then like a year later, and him and Biggs didn't speak for like a year. Nobody knew. It was really him and Biggs that had the problem. I mean,
Jay and Biggs.
Yeah, and it's so funny because Biggs is up under him now, but it was really Jay and Biggs that had the problem. Like they had the beef. You know what I mean? Like I was always just like, let's just be friends. Like I just want to be brothers. That's all I wanted, was us to be cool. And yeah. So I forgot what I was going. What was I talking about?
No, we was just talking about Jay-Z doing the album with R.
Kelly.
With R. Kelly, so even though he knew what happened to Aaliyah.
So one of the things that to squash the beef, also I was like, well, and either way, I was like, well, I'm not, just don't put my name on that. I don't want no money from that. If it is, put it to Aaliyah Foundation. So I never, and like they did this shit twice. You know what I'm saying? And then went on the road. It's like,
what's crazy is that
it was just flagrant.
He was right, to be honest, because R. Kelly, once the shit came out on R. Kelly, Jay-Z fled the scene. Well, that whole situation, he just disappeared. At least from where I was.
Yeah, whatever. But the point was, he knew all the time. So,
didn't they say Fiesta was shot on Epstein Island or some shit?
Nah, no, it wasn't.
I just be scrolling Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook.
That's not on New York Times, but
it's on Facebook.
I saw it on the gram.
It depends how you want to look, how smart you want to look. I would be conscious and cognizant of
where'd y'all shoot Fiesta?
Where I get my information. I forgot, but it wasn't on no island. It wasn't St. Thomas.
Just checking.
Yeah.